China opens its first overseas military base. China has deployed troops and warships to Djibouti in the Horn of Africa to set up the country's first overseas military base. But the PRC claims it is not seeking military expansionism. On Tuesday, China deployed an amphibious transport dock and a semi-submersible cargo ship, which can accommodate a variety of helicopters and armored fighting vehicles, along with an undisclosed number of military personnel. The two warships departed from a military port in Zhanjiang and are sailing across the Indian Ocean to Djibouti. China will join the US, France, Italy, and Japan, which have already set up military bases in Djibouti. China has expanded its military presence in Africa in recent years, with more than 2,500 Chinese soldiers already deployed in South Sudan, Liberia, and Mali. The nation's navy has been conducting escorting missions in the Gulf of Aden off Somalia since 2008. China has also invested heavily in infrastructure projects in Africa in recent years. It's estimated that 1 million Chinese nationals currently reside in Africa. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support Tomo News at patreon.com/Tomo News. China's military power has grown rapidly in recent years. Beijing ramps up South China Sea militarization. China's Navy has reportedly finished expanding its man-made outpost in the South China Sea and is now building military infrastructure on some of the larger islands. China is outfitting its three largest outposts, Fiery Cross, Subi, and Mischief Reefs in the Spratly Islands, with military infrastructure. This includes airfields with runways at least 8,800 feet long, water and fuel storage, port facilities, 24 fighter-sized hangars, communication facilities, barracks, and administration buildings. Once the facilities are complete, China can house up to 3 regiments of fighter jets in the Spratly Islands. The 3 air bases and another on Woody Island in the Paracels will give Chinese fighter jets the ability to operate over almost the entire South China Sea. Meanwhile, China has also developed radar surveillance coverage of almost the entire region. The Hague International Tribunal rejected China's claims of historical ownership in the South China Sea last July. China has firmly rejected the ruling. Parts of the South China Sea are claimed by China, Brunei, Taiwan, Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Vietnam. Heads up! China just got a new toy. After years of having just a single Soviet-made aircraft carrier, Beijing has upped its military game by going out and actually building one of its own. On Wednesday, the new 50,000-ton, 100% made-in-China carrier was launched from Dalian Port in the country's northeast. The aircraft carrier is conventionally powered and equipped with a ski jump-style takeoff ramp, much like its predecessor, the Liaoning. It's meant to carry 24 J-15 fighter jets and 12 helicopters. The homemade carrier has yet to be armed and will still have to undergo sea trials, meaning it won't be formally commissioned until about 2020. By then, analysts project the Chinese Navy will have also expanded to nearly 300 warships, submarines, and logistics support vessels. China also plans to churn out more aircraft carriers and is already working on the next generation design, which is expected to be much bigger than the latest model.
China tests railroad car launch of DF-41 missile. According to United States intelligence agencies' monitors, China has tested a railcar launch of a long-range missile that can reach the U.S. Defense officials announced China's military testing canister ejection of a DF-41 missile on December 5th. Estimates by U.S. intelligence agencies say that the DF-41 will carry up to 10 MIRVs when it's deployed. According to Philip A. Carber, a defense expert who heads the Potomac Foundation, China has tunnel complexes that can hold 3 missile trains side by side. Carber added that launch cars can be disguised as civilian passenger trains, travel on high-speed trains, and are hard to regulate or verify because of tunnel protection and secure reloading of multiple warheads. The DF-41 reportedly has a range of 7,500 miles, or over 12,000 kilometers. Rick Fisher, an expert on the Chinese military program, told the Washington Free Beacon, "This vastly increases the challenge of tracking China's ICBM force. As China today has 74,565 miles of rail lines, including 9,942 miles of high-speed rail."
Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support Tomo News at patreon.com/Tomo News. China now has more diesel-powered and nuclear-powered submarines than the United States. Both American and Southeast Asian officials have voiced concern about China's military buildup in the last several years. Even before the People's Republic of China's recent military and naval expansion, its submarines were regularly patrolling the Philippine Sea. China now has more submarines than Britain, Russia, and the United States, with plans to build more vessels. China's more expansive submarine program now includes lengthier excursions into the Indian Ocean. The People's Liberation Army Navy has diesel and nuclear-powered submarines and continues to develop ballistic missile submarines along with experimental vessels. The armed nuclear missile subs China is developing will be able to launch missiles that can reach Hawaii and Alaska. U.S. Navy Vice Admiral Joseph Malloy says that while the number of PLA subs has grown by leaps and bounds, their quality is inferior to that of the United States'.
China flight tests new anti-satellite missile. China has flight tested a new missile which defense analysts believe is designed to destroy satellites. On October 30th, China conducted a flight test of its new Dongnan 3 missile from the Korla Missile Test Complex, according to the Washington Free Beacon. Analyst Bill Gertz writes that the new missile, like its predecessor, the Dongnan 2, is designed to destroy satellites. China maintains that the missiles are purely defensive, meant to intercept incoming ballistic missiles, not to destroy satellites. The older DN-2 was a 3-stage missile based on a satellite launch vehicle with a kinetic warhead. The new DN-3 may be a modified DN-2 or a completely new design. A U.S. congressional report says China's anti-satellite missiles can only fly on predetermined flight paths and only strike satellites over China's territory. In May 2013, a DN-2 missile nearly reached geosynchronous orbit, threatening intelligence and navigation satellites.